Good morning, it's 6 o'clock and it's time for another What I Ate in a Day video. And this time starring, once again, finally, proudly to present broccoli! My favorite vegetable for breakfast. My favorite vegetable all in all. And that's of course going to be breakfast number 1. And breakfast number 2 is soaking here in water. That's oats with the nutmeg and cinnamon and a supplement and water. So far at least. See you later. This is breakfast number 1, broccoli. Breakfast number 2 is ready. I added a banana and some blueberries and that should be it. This is going to be my lunch. Of course I'm going to take that to work with me. I cooked that last night. And it's still morning. In here are penne, whole wheat penne with chickpeas, mushrooms, onion, chard, and 2 about teaspoons of cocoa butter that I bought to make cosmetics, but I don't use them for that. So I decided to eat it. That's really it. And I'm gonna buy bananas or something later on for dessert. It's about 5 p.m. I just came from work and now I'm starting to make dinner, which is going to be a stew. Right here. There's sweet potato in there, celeriac, tomatoes, onions and parsley, I think. I'm going to add some spices and then I'm going to add that. And that's leftover from the lunch I cooked yesterday, but I could not fill all of my lunch in my container that I take to work with me. So these are leftovers and I'm going to put these in there too. And the nice thing about stews and soups and salads and whatever kind of pan dishes you make, you can always add everything you have on hand regarding leftovers. And I do that quite often. And I have already calculated all of this for today into Chronometers, so I have to eat it somehow. So I'm going to put that into the stew and I think it's going to be delicious because I don't want to brag, but I cook pretty darn good and healthy. And that's going to be it, except if I want dessert, which is going to be a banana because I have hardly any other food on hand anymore. So this is the end result. I pureed part of the stew and that makes it smoother and I really like that. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this now. Now let's go to my Chronometer entries and what I exactly ate in that one day. I have a total of 2,119 calories, which is normal for me. Everything, of course, was once again eyeballed, so I don't know if it's really correct. On the other hand, you never know if it's really correct because there's Chronometer does not carry all the data for all the foods that are included sometimes, and of course that differs depending on where the food grew and how it was fertilized and all that kind of stuff. So that was of course mostly carbs. As always, I ate 13.5% of fat, 14% of protein and 72% of carbs. I'm not satisfied with my results in fat because my omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is not as good as I want it to be. It's supposed to be at least 1:4, better as 1:1, which is basically impossible except if you're on a low-carb diet and eating lots of fish. But in that case, you have probably too much omega-3s and way too much saturated fat. Saturated fat, of course, came from the cacao butter that I used, and the omega-6 is, because I didn't use any extra oil, is mainly from the chickpeas and the oatmeal. Omega-3 was too little because I was only using the supplement and no flaxseed. So I need to change that. Protein was brilliant. I ate exactly 100 grams, 0.0 grams of protein. All the amino acids are included, so I'm happy about that. It was way more than I actually need. Vitamins. Last week I forgot to or I didn't forget it, but somehow the Chronometer didn't notice that I entered B12 for the supplement that I was testing out to write an article about that. It includes 200% of B12. That's what it says on the package, and now that's what it says in Chronometer as well. 196%. That's where my B12 came from. Vitamin D also, but vitamin D is synthesized on your skin when the sun is shining on it. So I don't have any worries about vitamin D really. And the experts disagree about vitamin D in every regard, regarding if you should take it, how much you should take, if the recommended blood amounts are correct and all that kind of stuff. So I figure that a pretty fair-skinned individual in the middle of Europe would have survived without vitamin D supplementation for the past, I don't know, thousands of years. So why shouldn't I survive? I don't use any sunscreen, and I go to the sun whenever I can, so I'm not really worried about that. Most of my calcium, which is not, according to lots of studies, about 500 milligrams daily is enough to prevent osteoporosis. But the recommended amount is, of course, 1 gram. That's 1,000 milligrams, and I reached 99% of that only with tap water. That was fine. My iron was a little too little again, I think, once again, because I entered the Penne into the database, which in my opinion does not include the correct amount for iron, because plain wheat, whole wheat, has more iron, according to Chronometer, of course, once again. So, but my blood work is fine, my HB is okay, so I have no worries right now about iron, I think. Yeah, and that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, then please subscribe. That's it for now. See you soon. Bye bye.